Good afternoon, everybody. Let's start our new series on tools for the homesteader. Now, not necessarily homesteaders, homeowners, apartment dwellers, anybody. Now, we're going to start off with the simplest of tools and work our way up. The first episode is a tool that everybody should have in their box, everybody should have in their house, in my opinion, is pliers. Now, growing up, these were called wire pliers. Anywhere in the South, you say wire pliers, everybody knows what you're talking about. Now, this pair here was sent to me by my friend Craig in a big box of tools. And I'll put a card up here for the big box of tools. I actually got two pair. Same thing. Now these, I've already cleaned them good in the ultrasonic cleaner. And they are functional just like they are. Now, if you don't know, purpose of these tools is to do all kind of stuff. You can bend wire with them. Just a piece of baling wire. Do things like this. Twist wire together. Stuff like that. You can also, if you need to tighten up a nut and bolt, take your bolt, hold it still, tighten up the other side. And if you have a large nut and bolt or any object you want to hold like this, separate them jaws like that. You can hold it like this. Now, probably 10,000, 20,000 uses for these around the house, around the homestead. Everybody needs a pair of pliers. Now, these are antiques. Very, very, very old. But still very, very, very good. Now, there's some writing on here. I can't quite make out what it says. I know they're USA made. And we'll be able to see that here shortly. Now this pair is, like I said, the same thing, but these have been used a lot more and they're very, very worn. So, on both pairs, we're going to do a restoration. These basically need a good cleaning up, polishing, and they'll be good to go. This pair needs a little bit more. And I think, from what I can see, I'm almost sure these are the same brand. But I'm not sure. We'll see once we get them cleaned up. Now, tell you how old these are. They have a solid rivet right here that holds them together. More modern pliers, like these, come from, I don't know what year, but they come much later. They have a nut and bolt. You can take them apart. See there? And so, a pair like this, not this one, because these are in good shape. You could actually take them apart and clean them and all that. These, you can't. Now, I could grind this head off and get a new rivet and put in there and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to take away from the uniqueness of these tools, especially this one. It's in very good shape. I know how to fix this one, and we'll see that as we get to that pair. I'm going to do restoration on both of these. Even I have another pair we're going to do later on an old pair of channel locks. These are new enough to where they have the nuts you can take off of there. We'll get to those later. Alright, so next step, we're going to take these over to the wire wheel them off, get them cleaned up best we can, and we'll find out what they are, what brand they are, and then we'll go to the next step. Now, y'all excuse me from shaking and shivering. It's very, very cold out here. So let's grab a magnifying glass and see if we can see what this writing says. I can almost see it, but I'm not sure. So hang on, let's go grab that and see. All right, both sides they say forged in USA. Now up here where they would typically have the brand, I don't see anything. There may have been something right here at one time, but the rust has pretty much taken care of that. But I prefer old USA tools, and that's what we got right here. And I'm sure the other pair are the same thing. Alright, we'll spend a little bit of time on the wire wheel, get them cleaned off, and we'll go from there to the buffer and get them buffed up, shined up, and as close to new as we can. Fully functional like they are, but let's go ahead and get them all nice and prettied up so they'll last another, at least I would say at least 50 years, maybe more. All right, back to our pliers here. Now what I want to do, you can see on the end here where they're not even, I'm going to put it on the grinder here, even these out a little bit. Then we're going to take it to the polisher, and I think that's all we're going to do on these is polish them real nice, and they will be ready to put back to work. Noise alert. There we go. And there was a little bit of some scratches and stuff in there, so I just went ahead and knocked that off a little bit. Now we'll take it over here to the buffer and start polishing, and we'll finish it up by handing with the Dremel. Now before we go to the buffer, see these little grooves right here? This is what actually grips what you're trying to hold. So got a little set of micro files. These are cheapos, which they work just fine. You want to make sure those are cleaned out. It's very light, they go in there. Each little tooth. Clean out any gunk or rust or whatever may have got in there over the years. Sharpen them maybe just a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. These little tiny ones. Same thing. Okay, those look to be in pretty good shape. Just a little, maybe a little wire brush of some kind. Make sure all that's cleaned out. Take them loose and do the other same thing. That's why this style here with that solid rivet is a little bit harder to work with, because you can't take them apart. Well, you can, but in the next pair like this that came in the big box, we're going to take those apart because those are in a lot worse shape than these are. There we go, that looks good. And this side is worn a little bit more. Or they're just full of junk. There we go, that looks good. Now, I'm not doing a showroom restoration like a lot of guys do. Not on these. Now, we will get to some of that as we go along. Like I said, the other pair like this, we'll do that. But for right now, we're trying to make a very good serviceable pair of pliers to have at your homestead, your house, your apartment, wherever. There we go. Now off to the buffer, and that'll be the final step. All right, we are done. Here is our pliers, all polished up, just about ready to go in the toolbox. Now the last thing I want to do, I'll put a drop of oil right there, a couple drops. A couple drops on that side, not much, just a little bitty bit. Wipe off the excess. Very, very lightly. Oil them up good, because these will rust if you don't take care of them, especially in high humid areas like I live in. There we go, first project in the Tools for the Homesteader series. Now if you remember, I've got two pair of these. This is what they did look like, and this is what they look like now. Now this is not a full-on restoration, making them brand spanking new. on this particular pair because that's not what I was going for. We have a usable set of pliers that can go in the toolbox, not in the kitchen drawer, in the toolbox, and they will never wear out, and you'll have them forever. Now we'll revisit these on a later video with a full brand spanking new restoration on those. There we go. Now I hope y'all enjoyed this. It's just the very first. This is the first episode. I'll do better on the next episodes. I did lose a couple of frames of footage on these. Oh, when you get done with your oil, always close it up. Clean off the nozzle, because that stuff costs money. So be as frugal as you can be. There we go. Pliers finished up. Now I'm going to mention right now, when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a little set of tools for the homesteader, homeowner, whatever. I'm going to have a little set fixed up for a giveaway. So y'all keep that in mind. Share the videos. We need subscribers. I need viewers. I've got the best subscribers and viewers they are right now. So if you want to be in that very fine bunch of folks, just jump in, and I would appreciate it. Now episode 2, we're going to stay on pliers, and we're going to start with, we're going to do 2 pair this time. These are basically the same as those, except they're bigger, and these are actually more modern. They can be taken apart. And I have a pair of channel locks, commonly referred to as channel locks, that I have had for years and years and years. So that's going to be the next installment. And these have a brand on them somewhere, I think, but I got to derust them. So you have to watch that video to see what brand those are. After that, the next installment, number 3, will be screwdrivers, and that one's going to be fun. So y'all stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. We won the football game. See you next time.